Former Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo has called for a re-examination of the one-year law school program, suggesting that it should be scrapped in favor of more investment in online learning and the integration of artificial intelligence, otherwise known as AI, into legal education. Speaking on Friday in Yenagoa as a keynote speaker at the 2025 Law Week of the Nigerian Bar Association, Yenagoa branch, teamed Setting the Pace, Law, Leadership and Transformational Development, Osinbajo argued that the current legal education system is outdated in a world increasingly shaped by technology. According to the former vice president, the legal profession is undergoing a profound transformation driven by technological advances. He noted that AI is already performing tasks such as legal research, drafting, and basic reasoning, areas once exclusive to human lawyers. He stressed the need to train lawyers in cross-disciplinary fields such as data science, legal technology, algorithm bias, and ethical reasonings, areas machine cannot yet replicate. Also speaking at the event, Governor Doye Ediri of Bayelsa State acknowledged the threats posed by AI, but described technological advancements as a necessary evolution for a dynamic society. We will not refuse the fact or what's the word? Not agree with Professor Yemi Osinbajo that AI has actually, done, more innovation in the human society, and it's not the first time AI has actually been in evolution. It's been there, but it's more recognized and widely used than before. This decision suggestion from Professor Yemi Osinbajo scrapping law school because from his thoughts, AI can actually perform most of those responsibilities as a legal practitioner, respectively. If I will allow you to speak, Barrister Manki, please, what do you make of this statement from the former vice president?
Strategic thinking, which is the ability to see ahead, is a rare gift. And that is the problem we are having, particularly in Nigeria. The most painful aspect about the one of Nigeria is that majority of the people who ought to see ahead are acutely blind by their action and inactions. Now, for instance, you don't want to look at, the future of legal profession in Nigeria rests on the body of benchers. They define the future of the legal profession in the country. That's why I get so much worried. The way I speak about certain things happening within the body of benchers, when I express my worry, that's the foundation. Because I'm a student of base superstructure analysis. I believe that if there is leprosy in the family, you can't talk about ringworm. You must, in fact, anybody who raises the issue of ringworm on the head table of a family that has leprosy issue may receive an unwarranted slap. Because except the person is merely showcasing ignorance. The reality of the time that we are in is the fact that I'm a lawyer, right? I've also realized that a lot of lawyers are not pro-science. Do you understand? Even in the university, you always see this idea that lawyers run away from science. I did maths, physics, chemistry, biology, ADMAS. I'm comfortable with science. When you talk about tech, take it or you leave it. Sometimes when I see lawyers, older lawyers, right? I used to laugh. Because I usually ask this question, where is Nokia today? Nokia is in the dustbin for people to learn from. Do you understand it? For refusing to change. I was in a seminar some time ago, and we were looking at our rules of professional ethics. And I told a senior colleague that these our rules are anachronistic. They are outdated. They are not in touch with realities.
So do you,
before AI now came in,
that this suggestion
perfectly in order. And in fact, this on-site something that he's talking about, when you say scrap, you mean the on-site should be off. No, I don't agree with him to that extent.
Okay.
What we should look at is a situation wherein we are going to have pro-tech lecturers. Do you understand it?
Okay.
That's the issue. Because you can't give what you don't have. Right? Now, if you bring, no matter how much a person has been in perhaps nursery teaching, and the person does not believe in diction, right? Which is the new dimension. And you bring that person to your school, I tell you, it is record of admission in the next season that will tell you that something is wrong here. That's the way it is. So we should think of bringing people. This is not a matter of political affiliation or whatever. We should bring in people who will be able to interact with the student in this direction. Because when you talk about tech, that is the AI we are talking about. We are talking about a situation wherein the lecturer should be able to liaise with the student, right? And then tell them how to migrate, how to do these things. They go is like a demonstration, because the 1 year compulsory law school training is supposed to be practical, because what we did in the university was purely theory. I'll share this with you that will drive home the point for you. When Abacha forced Council of Legal Education to send us on compulsory service, you know, Abacha closed Victoria Island campus of the Nigerian Law School because of the daughter, and then forced the Council of Legal Education to send us that were supposed to be in law school that year on service, compulsory service. Now, when we got to service, they sent me to Ekiti State. Now, I wanted to work in a law firm. I met the owner of the chambers. The man looked at me, interacted with me, and found that I have not done the compulsory 1 year law school training. The elderly man looked at me and laughed and said, "My son, if I take you on board, you will just amount to a glorified secretary because of lack of that exposure of that 1 year. It's like sending a medical doctor without housemanship on service."
So this decision, this suggestion, isn't it supposed to cut across most of the profession and not just in law school?
Of course.
Because they're setting outdated knowledge that needs to be evolutionized, if there's a word that can relate with it. Because, like I said, AI has, you know, been there for a while, but it's more now in constant existence, more now in constant practice than the way it used to be. So this suggestion is, I don't think it's supposed to, you know, just be on the law aspects, but on almost every profession, if you may.
You are perfectly right. Do you understand me?
Okay.
I've said that to you here before. I told you, I stood at the gate of a university, right, some time ago, and I wept. I can tell you that most of because the way the world is going now, the world is not interested in just doing certain things. Have you read this book by Kiyosaki?
What book?
Poor Dad, Rich Dad.
Yes.
Good. You notice I listened to a live this thing by Warren Buffett some time ago. And he was talking about false teachers. He said, these are people that teach what they don't practice. They teach what they don't believe. He said that the main purpose, what people are supposed to teach in school, which they don't teach, is how to make money. There's a philosophy behind it. Do you understand it? So he said that he asked the teacher, so why are you teaching what you don't practice? That's why I see professors who are poor. Professors of economics. That's why they can be converted into electoral fraud validators, as against that they have so invention or so idea. Like what Professor Osinbajo is bringing is an idea. If you listen to him, you will know that he is pro-tech. But there are a lot of lawyers who are not interested in anything tech. It's supposed to be a complete overhaul in every field. This is what ought to be, and that is the direction. So if you get to the university, you realize that most of the things that are being taught or being courses, they are outdated, particularly in Nigeria here. Do you know that we don't have gap year in Nigeria? Go to Ghana here. Ghana practice gap year, which is what is practiced in UK, the European Union. But it's not practiced here in Nigeria. It's in Ghana here.
But do we have that resources, enough resources too? Because he is also asking for I think it's more like an integration, not a total scrap in that instance. But do we have enough to, do that, put that into consideration, just like he has suggested? Do we have enough resources
your question is like asking me now, in the light of current economic realities in Nigeria, has Nigeria the capacity and the manpower to refine her crude oil locally for the benefit of Nigerians? The answer is no to those who are ignorant. Do you understand? But for those who know, the answer is outrightly yes.
I'm also thinking out loud that this statement that he has made could actually be due to that jam situation and, some of the issue. I'm just thinking out loud in that instance, because you know what AI is, artificial intelligence, and it's more of tech and all of that. So more of the reason why most of the students failed, aside the glitches, some were actually attributed to that most of them are not really equipped in that technology aspect. So I'm just thinking out loud that this could be one of the reasons why he made statements concerning that.
In fact,
but I just wanted to get your final thoughts on this, Barrister Mankey, please.
Okay. Well, I think the best I would say is like I had somebody making a very funny suggestion that China operates one-party state to justify what they want to do in Nigeria, bringing a mafia state. And somebody said, we are also aware that China executes corrupt politicians. Do you understand it? So the reality is here. And we must, those who are not comfortable, it's just like even the civil servant that is bloated. Technology can handle most of these things.
Okay.
It is if we are sure that we are ready for the future. If not, we'll be left behind. We should be able to embrace, even from primary school to secondary school, we should embrace this in full capacity. Those who are not fit, they should be removed from the system and brought those who are prone these ideas so that we can move at a common pace with the world. Because if you do not flow, it is only a dead fish that goes with the flow.
Okay.
If we do not go the way the world is going, we'll be left behind.
Thank you.